What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 4 of the Caballero Corral. Maybe the last episode ever. Coming to you with some somber, sad news. There's been speculation out there that the league and some of the teams were struggling. There's been a little bit back and forth. I was able to reach out to sources with the team to confirm that the Caballeros will be ceasing operations for the 2025 season. If you go on UnitedFootballMedia.com, I wrote an article and posted about it, so we're just going to cover it right there. Tell you what I know, tell you what I don't know. I will not be divulging my sources, but I will tell you that it's an extremely, extremely reliable source. But with that being said, when these alternative football leagues are expensive and they're hard to get started. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, and there's always different competing priorities, and you got players and fans and cities and venues and all that. So we're just going to talk about that right now. So it was confirmed that the Caballeros will not be participating in the 2025 season. That does not mean that they won't be back for the 2026 season, but they will not be participating the IFA or any summer football program here in San Antonio. So right now we have to just support the teams that we have now. But one of the things that when I was talking to my source the other day, we talked about stadium. University of Incarnate Word, there was originally a deal to lease the stadium for the San Antonio Caballeros and play in UIW. A lot of people think that playing in a stadium like UIW might even be better for leagues just like this than playing in a big stadium like the Alamo Dome. Maybe it'll look better for TV and stuff like that. But the team struggled to get the appropriate documentation and stuff like that to the University of Incarnate Word. For instance, they needed to get like insurance and all the stuff that goes along with renting stadiums. It kind of goes back to some of the other leagues and issues they've had where they're having to search for stadiums at the end of the season, and people say, oh, just find a random stadium and put it in some random. Look, it's not that easy. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with renting a stadium. The source did confirm that they were able to come up with the money and come up with the appropriate documentation to get the stadium leased, but it was literally like on the last day, which may have made the folks over at UIW feel a little bit nervous and rescind the offer, so to speak. So the stadium deal actually did fall through about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So even if the Caballeros had found a way to participate in the 2025 season, it would have been in a different stadium of some sort. And they even mentioned that they looked at other stadiums, some larger high school stadiums, even named some school districts stadiums that they were trying to get a hold of. If you guys remember, a couple episodes ago here on the Caballero Corral, we went out to a on-the-field activity and at the Somerset High School, which was a very, very nice field, by the way, and would have been pretty perfect to use, but even that stadium deal was unable to be acquired by the team. So it wasn't due to a lack of trying, and it wasn't due to not being able to produce the funds or the paperwork. It just didn't quite work out. One thing I'll tell you about the San Antonio Caballeros, the IFA in general, and them coming to San Antonio, they are extremely, extremely media friendly. And as I wrote in my article, I want to take the opportunity to talk about how much of a privilege I felt it was being able to cover the team on behalf of United Football Media down here from the Horse Corral. Got to sit and have a beer with Coach Hal Mummy. Great guy. Has the best of intentions for football in San Antonio. He's from the area down here. We've talked about that in the past as well, too. All the other members of the team, from the Coach Welch to Coach Bedwell, and even some of the social media and marketing folks I got to meet, everybody was super nice, and they just wanted the team to have a chance and get some players on the field. I really did think that this team was going to take the field this year, just out of pure want and desire from Coach Mummy. He really, really wanted the players to get an opportunity. It was always about the players. He never came out and said I or me or whatever. He was always saying the players, film, get them on the field. He wanted nothing more but to bring another professional football franchise down here to San Antonio. And a little piece of me, feel sorry that he was unable to make it happen. I know how big of a thing it was to him, and we talked about it, that time we got to sit together, and I truly know he had the best of intentions. It's not all bad news for the International Football Alliance. Some teams are still planning on playing this summer. Michael LaThorpe, if you follow him, he does a great job on X, especially with all these alternative football leagues and teams. And he's posted stuff about football leagues that I didn't even know were existing. I kind of stay focused on the city of San Antonio and what's going on around here. And when I was writing this article for the San Antonio Snap Count on behalf of United Football Media and posted it on UnitedFootballMedia.com, I kind of started digging through some of his tweets, and he's even got the Tampa Bay Tornadoes down here posting schedules. He's got the Ohio Ironmen posted schedules. One thing you can see, the Ohio Ironmen have the San Antonio Caballeros on their schedule, so it's just one of those things, man. But there's good news for the league. The Huntsville Astros, I don't know if you guys remember back when there was a story that came out about an investor that gave some money to the Alabama Beavers, and then the Alabama Beaver folks basically stole the money from him. He thought he was buying into the IFA and buying into the Alabama team, and it just turns out that there was some shady stuff going on there. Don't know all the details, but the guy lost his money and didn't get a piece of the Alabama Beavers. So I guess he wants the owner, the gentleman that invested the $25,000 and basically got it stolen from him, wanted a team so bad that he basically just took the whole organization, the players, coaches, and everything, and started the Huntsville Astros. So the Huntsville Astros evidently are well funded and are looking to play in the 2025 season. The Arkansas Storm, the Little Rock Storm, that was the expansion team that was supposed to not start till 2026. When I was talking to my source about the Caballeros, basically said that the Little Rock team is probably one of the best funded teams in the IFA, and it's a very, very high likelihood that they take the field in 2026. The way it's kind of working out is these leagues are almost turning into these independent, like football teams, where an owner or a group of owners or a head coach has enough money to make payroll and get players on the field and get all the equipment. You know, this stuff is extremely expensive. And they're just kind of like finding other teams across the country that have the ability to field a team. And they're just scheduling stuff. The Erie Express was not part of the original IFA team. The Cincinnati Dukes, the Michigan Bills. These are all teams that the Ohio Valley Ironmen are scheduled to play, even though Ohio Valley is part of the IFA and these other teams are not. So it's kind of interesting to just think about it and see what's going on there. It's kind of cool, right? Like a whole league of independents, you know. It's kind of interesting, kind of neat to think about. But we talked a little about the Arkansas Storm being a sure thing for 2026 because it's well funded. There's also a team called the Tennessee Hornets out of Nashville. They don't currently play IFA football, but they're thinking about making the jump up to IFA. So you might see an IFA team in Tennessee in 2026. And one of the things that was mentioned was the Pioneeros, you know, will likely be there in 2026. It might even be a focus for the IFA in 2026. They were going to be playing up in the San Marcos. That's a little north of Austin, in the Austin area, kind of between San Antonio and Waco. The team was originally going to be playing up in Dallas, but then they kind of moved it down. So it kind of seemed like to me, and this is just me speculating based upon our conversation, that the league may want to focus on getting the Pioneeros functioning before a San Antonio team, and somewhere's on that 35 corridor in the San Antonio to Waco, Austin type area, everything within a few hour drive. So I think it'll be a pretty good idea. You know, I know that if they put a team in San Marcos, I'd definitely be willing to drive up from San Antonio and check out the game in a heartbeat. And then the other thing, we talked about the Chihuahua Rebellion, the one team that is alive in Mexico, not alive in Mexico, where there was talks about having trouble traveling back and forth and passports and all that stuff going back and forth. But it's reported that the Chihuahua Rebellion, who's starting play next month in June, has sold over 10,000 tickets to their home opener. So you do have good things happening. There are positives, and the IFA will be taking the field in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They've already talked about their streaming option that they have, so you'll be able to stream some of these games. But the Caballeros will not be part of it. The Caballeros will not be taking the field. And if you want more information on it and read the full article, go to UnitedFootballMedia.com. Check it out. Follow me on social media at SA Brahma Bullpen. It's on Instagram. It's on X. And now we have this on YouTube. So, but that's about it. I'm going to get out of here. There's not much left to talk about. We're heartbroken that the team is not going to make the field. This may be the last Caballero episode we ever do because there's not going to be a team here unless it relaunches in 2026. And, yeah, man, that's about it. Leave some comments down there. Let me know what you think. Even if the team comes back and how Mummy finds an investor, I doubt the team comes back as the Caballeros because how Mummy told me that he doesn't like the logo and he doesn't like the name and it's hard to say and all that. It's not hard for people to San Antonio to say Caballeros is, but maybe for some of those North Texans or Yankees might not have too good at rolling their R's there, so to speak. But we'll see what happens, whether the IFA comes back to San Antonio. If I was a betting man, I would bet there'd be an IFA team in 2026 in that San Marcos, Austin, North, 35 Central Texas corridor. Maybe even Waco, who knows. But I definitely know San Marcos is a market that they want to be in, so more than likely. And there was a stadium deal already kind of in the works there, so keep an eye out on the IFA. We'll probably cover it a little bit on the San Antonio Snap Count. It's the article that I write on behalf of United Football Media. I'll definitely be posting stuff on social media about the IFA and stuff like that, but I don't think we'll be doing too many Caballero Corral episodes unless we want to just get on here and reminisce about some of the on-the-field activities we got to participate in. And if some of the Caballero players who thought they were on the team and then wound up not being on the team want to come on and talk about their experience with the IFA. And I will tell you that there are some spots open on other IFA teams, and some of the, say, 5 to 10 of best players on the Caballeros are definitely being looked at. So not all the players are going to get left out in the cold. A lot of them will be, obviously. I know a lot of the coaches already have things going on to keep them busy. For instance, Coach Welch, who was going to be with the Caballeros, has switched over and is now working with the San Antonio Brahmas with Peyton Pardee over there. So, and I know Coach Bedwell's got some stuff going on. We'll see where he winds up. It might wind up with a UFL team, might wind up with another IFA team, or it might just continue doing his coaching camps and stuff from his home base. But we'll see what happens with all these guys and try to keep an eye up on the players. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here and say, if you watched any of the Caballero episodes, Caballero Corral episodes, we really appreciate you taking the time. Sorry to the city of San Antonio. We are not going to get Caballero football. But, we'll see what happens in the future. Just remember, never take having a professional football team. If you're a sports fan, never take for granted having a professional football team in your city. Never take it for granted. Go out there, support the team. How do you support the team? It's pretty simple. Butts in seats, folks. Get out there, get tickets. Go watch local football. That way these leagues will succeed, and that way we have year-round football, not just in the fall. With that, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for joining me out here in the corral.